Hey y'all, it's Queenly Vibes here. So I am here to talk about Shanquilla Robinson. I kind of just wanted to, I waited around to, hear more details about the story and to find out a little bit more about what took place and everything. The story has hit, it's nationwide, as it should be and everything. So, um, when I first heard about it, I started seeing, you know, posts, about this young lady and everything. And I really didn't um, get into the story or what have you, because I'm seeing so many young ladies who are unalive and everything, young ladies, young men, of color and everything. So many stories is taking place and everything. And you all know how I feel about this. Black on black crime and just all of the horrible stuff that's happening right now. You know, we really need to just pray. We really need to develop a relationship with God, pray, keep the faith, all of that, because it's really getting bad out here. Not getting, it's been bad out here, but it's just getting worse. Okay, so I, at first I'm like, should I talk about this because so many people, are talking about this story and everything. But you know what? Honestly, I think it needs to be, spoken about. You know, the crime stories that's taking place is something that's near and dear to my heart. I don't know, maybe in the future I might create a channel that's only dedicated, to stuff like this. But anyhow, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video and everything. God bless you all. I pray that everyone has had a really great Thanksgiving and everything. I hope that you're thankful and grateful for something. At least be thankful for what you do have, you know, and I certainly am. My Thanksgiving was blessed. I was able to be with the family that I do have, and we celebrate. And I give God all the glory just to even make it this far throughout the year with all the craziness and just wicked stuff that's happening around the world. So anyhow, I give God glory. So let's talk about this. Shanquilla Robinson. I'm pretty sure many of you already know about this story. Just absolutely horrible, horrible, horrendous. Um, I've been seeing a lot of posts, like I said, because this happened up close to a month ago. About a month ago, this young lady lost her life going, you know, uh, at a trip to Cabo, Mexico. She lost her life with one young man in particular who was supposed to have been her best friend, Khalil. Okay. He was the one that was the closest to her. He was the best friend for 6 to 7 years or however long. And the other ones, I kind of feel like they were associates, but they knew of each other or what have you. But like I said, this is a new day and age. When I was 25, 24, it was a different ball game. We didn't have social media. You can go to the clubs with your friend girls, return home safely, all of that good stuff. if you had a crew, a clique, or whatever that you were rolling with, the girls pretty much stayed together, the guys stayed together. You had your fun, you go home. Simple. Now we're living in a day and age where it's all about social media. It's all about images and different things of that nature. So everybody can see what you're posting and the things that you have. And again, social media, it can be a tool that's a blessing or it can be a curse. you know you just have to be careful with it. You have to be safe on social media. You have to be safe with the people that you're hanging around. You really need to get a sense of, well, for Christian people, we call it Holy Spirit. That God gives us Holy Spirit to be a discerner. you know to know if we're around people that are wicked in their hearts, to know who's a friend and who's a foe. You understand? But I believe that God have given us all something, whether you believe in God or not. He's given us intuition. You know, if you just really pay attention to it and watch your surroundings, it's intuition of the people that you shouldn't connect with. You know, and she was a young lady. She was 25 years old. However, and I'm just going to pull up, um, some info on her, just in case some of you haven't heard about the story and don't know what's going on. Again, her name is Shanquila Robinson, and she was basically beaten to death by her so-called friends, and her so-called best friend did nothing. No one did nothing. There's a viral video going around with one of the fights, and from what I'm hearing, there's a second video that delivered the fatal blow, and everything, which it ended up cracking her spine, allegedly. So again, I just had a point. But anyhow, I'll come back to that. So she was 25 years old. And by the way, this young lady was very successful. You know, she had a couple of businesses. She did hair braiding. Very bright, intelligent young lady. She was a business owner. So, she didn't have to punch in a time clock, to go to anyone's job. And I'm telling you, that alone is great success. When you can do something that you enjoy doing and you're talented at it and everything, and you're able to, make a good living, as this young lady did. Um, so that within itself is success, for her to be of a young age. She was 25. I knew this is what I wanted to say. She was 25. However, she was very youthful. Even seeing her pictures and everything, she didn't appear to be 25. She was almost equivalent to maybe like a 16-year-old, or a 15-year-old. Very, very youthful, beautiful young lady who loved to travel, loved to have a good time with her family and friends. And she was blessed to be able to do that. I wish I was doing that at 25 years of age. And, again, this is the time of social media. So, of course, she's posting where she's going, her trips, about her businesses, her fashion, her whatever. And, When people are watching your life, and when people know there's a buzz about you as far as your success, people become very jealous, very envious of that, you know. And these group of people, they're all college graduates or what have you. So I believe everyone is educated. But again, she was very successful and everything. And the so-called best friend, he definitely was not her friend. And as we can see, uh, neither were the rest of them. So anyhow, she went to Mexico to celebrate her friend's birthday. Um, she reached Cabo, and later her parents were informed about her passing. The primary reason was, the friends put together this story and said that it was alcohol poisoning. Um, we found out, of course, that that wasn't true. Um, let's see, the so-called best friend, they actually, it was an ambush. It was an ambush on this young lady's life, you know. And from what I'm hearing and reading, and like I said, after I was able to read some things about this case, and I've been watching and stuff like that. The first thing that came to my mind was Kanika Jenkins, from Chicago, the young lady that was inebriated in the hotel, and she was walking all around, completely out of her mind, not a friend in sight. You know, she came to the party with one young lady that supposedly was her best friend, and she went to a birthday party, to celebrate with friends at a hotel. So there's a lot of similarities and everything. A young lady, and the case was very mysterious to this day. I still don't feel good about the outcome, or what have you. But this young lady, her best friend, should have been with her the whole time. I mean, there's just no way possible that as a best friend, you would leave your friend in that state, where she's drunk and she have no control over her senses or what have you, to roam around a hotel that way, and then later found, deceased or what have you. Pretty sure you guys know the story. So it seems like on that end, in my opinion, it was some form of jealousy connected to her with the so-called best friend, and possibly even a setup in some type of way. This is just my opinion. Okay. And now we can jump back to Shanquilla Robinson. And by the way, her and her family are from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the same vibe that I get with this situation. Definitely the jealousy, the envy surrounding her, and I do believe that she was set up. I definitely believe that she was set up. It's lots of reasons that I feel that way. Number one, the girls out of the group, three young ladies. Okay, the one that was on the video that attacked her and mauled her, basically. And then there's two others. She didn't really hang out with them, but like I said, the six, no, I'm gonna say the five, she knew, she wasn't that close with them. Okay. Um, I think it was a setup just to lure her out of North Carolina, get her in a different country, so that they can act out on that hate and that jealousy that they had for her. Okay. If they're all from the same, hometown, they knew about the buzz concerning her. I'm pretty sure, and this is just my opinion, that the so-called best friend had maybe some animosity or something towards her. This is just how I feel, and this is the reason why he was the one that was able to get her over there. Because honestly, I believe that if he didn't attend the vacation, she wouldn't have gone, because she didn't hang around the other ones like that, you know. So it's so much to be said about this case. Is a lot of people are coming up with a lot of crazy stuff that they're saying, but I just want to stick with the facts and basically how I feel about the situation. You know, I watched the video of, and I'm going to call them a gang, because as far as I'm concerned, they're equivalent to a gang. You know, and this gang attacked this young lady. We saw the video, but we don't know what happened when there was no video. We don't know everything that took place, but definitely it was something set up to lure her out of her hometown, away from her family and friends, to lure her out of her safety net and to get her into another country. You know, and this had to have been planned in North Carolina, because me personally, if I don't like someone, and again, I'm thinking back when I was, these ages. If I know that I really truly didn't like someone, I'm not going to hang out with them. I don't want to go party with you. I don't want to go to the club. I don't want to go to the movies, dinner, none of that with you. Because my thing is, I want to have a good time, so I don't want to have an attitude and be in a bad mood because, I can't stand this person's vibe, so I'm pretty sure, they felt this way about her in North Carolina. They couldn't stand her. So why invite her and then have her to come all the way over to Mexico, in a different country, and try to act, like you want to celebrate your birthday with her. And see, this is why I say it was a setup, because they felt as if they can get her over there and do exactly what they did to her. And who's to say, maybe the girls took turns doing it, as we can hear in the video. I don't know whose voice it is. A lot of people are saying that it's the so-called friend Malik, but until I know proof, I don't know whose voice that is. I just know it's one of the guys saying to her, "Aren't you gonna fight?" And then they're saying to her, "Oh, why isn't she fighting?" or what have you. And this petite young lady is being mauled by this wildebeest. This huge, tall wildebeest that's just wailing on her, and for what reason? Why didn't she do that in North Carolina? Why didn't the girls jump her in North Carolina? Why take her there and do that? And to have her on, she's on this beautiful, they're on this beautiful villa, and just really secluded. They did that because that's something that they wanted to do, but they knew they couldn't get away with it in their hometown. And that so-called, best friend was so devious and such a snake that he would lure that young lady over there and make her feel comfortable and make the family feel comfortable to have her to go out of the country and put her in that situation. It was just heartbreaking to watch. I watched it, I think, at least, twice, because the thing about it is people, they're showing it so much. So it's like I can't stand to watch that video. I wish they would really stop showing it all together or what have you. It's just horrific, and just so sad, just hearing her. She was almost like a child at their mercy, not fighting back. And she's like, no, she doesn't want to fight. And this wildebeest wouldn't let up on her at all. And the one girl is recording it or what have you. No one is letting up on this young lady. No one decided to stop the fight. The best friend was nowhere, to be found. Just sick at its best. And this has become the new thing for these kids to do, is, fight and record it. This is, some form of entertainment, some form of having fun, because the world has become so desensitized to wickedness. And you got to be very careful who you're hanging around in your own hometown, let alone going out of the country with folks. You have to watch who's, you have to be, like they say, you have to be able to read the room, because not everyone is going to like you. And some people will be jealous of you, and you might not have 25 cents in your pocket, but you're rich in love. You're rich in whatever God has given you. You're blessed. And some people are just going to hate you for that, no matter what. Not everyone is going to like you. Don't try to fit in to everybody's, little clique. It's okay to be a loner until God really bless you with the right type of friends. It's okay to chill to yourself. It's okay to have maybe like one or two friends. You do not have to be liked by everyone. You don't have to be liked by everyone. And that's one of the main things. You don't have to be the one going to every invitation. So, we just have to pray and ask God to, give us wisdom. And like I said, I used to pick up on stuff like that. And, there's times where I would ignore it. But you know what? In the times I did that, I didn't have the best time, because there was a hater in the room. So you have to watch out for that. Anyhow, I wanted to bring out some more things. Just absolutely sick that no one stopped this fight. And let's just say she would have tried to fight back. What would that have gained her? Because they were just going to jump her anyhow, and she's out there, in a different country. From what I'm hearing, she didn't have her phone with her. I'm pretty sure that was probably one of the first things that they did entering into her room. I'm pretty sure someone took her phone. So she's out there. She's trapped in the room as they got her roped off, because as you can see, the wildebeest is by the sliding door. and the rest is surrounding her like they're having some form of seance, or around her bed. Just a bunch of demons. So they have her cornered off, you know. And this wildebeest, and Lord forgive me because I really I don't like name calling, but her behavior was one of some form of animal, you know. As far as I'm concerned, they're all monsters. And instead of it being the Cabo 6, it should be the Cabo 666, because all of them were involved in some form of fashion. Doing nothing means that you're involved. It means that you're okay with what's excuse me, I'm getting, let me calm down. It means that you're okay with what's happening. She wasn't able to call the police. She wasn't able to defend herself in any kind of way. And I'm just trying to figure out, and thank God there's been an arrest warrant that's issued to the one that we can visibly see that fought her. That I'm not going to say certain things, but the one that we can see in the video that's beating her. And I'm trying to figure out, because she's the one that they're saying looks like a transvestite. They're saying that it was her birthday celebration, and this guy Nazir Wiggins, who said that he was rubbing her head and massaging her or something while she pretty much was deceased or non-responsive. Just really sick. But back to wildebeest. What I was trying to figure out was, what did she have to gain by this? To wail on this young lady who didn't want to defend herself. She just seemed very, very feminine and ladylike, petite young girl here, or young lady. And you're just wailing on her. You're throwing blows, you're kicking her, you're grabbing her, grabbing her. And as you can see, she was kind of like grabbing her hair, pulling her hair, and she was already like yanking her. So I'm pretty sure all of that just contributed, to her injuries. What did you gain? This is, your birthday celebration. Now you're going to have to face jail time because you couldn't contain your jealousy towards this young lady. All of you are facing jail time now. You took a life, allegedly, because the autopsy is saying that, a broken neck and severed spine. So a life is taken. You guys jump on a plane and come back to North Carolina, and then you go to her mother, and then you say, oh, she's gone, but before they came, they called her and they made up this lie. Oh, she wasn't feeling well, alcohol poisoning. Then they go into the face of this mother, and just say, oh, well, I'm sorry, it was alcohol poisoning. We did all we can do. I'm just paraphrasing and just imagining what they said to, to the mother. And the father, both of them, my heart goes out to the parents and her family and friends, and my condolences to this family and my prayers. Ever since I really got into the story, I've done nothing but pray. And this is why I'm so grateful for at least the beginning of victory with this wildebeest being arrested. Because you behaved like a straight donkey wildebeest and then have the nerve to my understanding, being in the healthcare profession. How in the world are did you have ambitions or goals to work in healthcare and you don't care about a life? Make that make sense for me. Because anyone in healthcare or what have you, you have to take an oath to properly take care of your patients. I don't care if you're home health aide, nurse's aide, what have you. It is your job, it is your duty to take care of folks when they're sick. So you, Dejanay, in the healthcare field, a nurse or aspiring nurse or whatever you were, you put this young lady in that state and call yourself a healthcare professional. But anyhow, um, and whether you're in healthcare or not, but I'm just saying this is a profession where you want to, take care of people who are sick, who are ailing, or what have you. But you could care less about this young lady who didn't fight you back, and you didn't bother to stop. You just, and I'm like, what is she so mad about? What is the root to this wickedness? What is the root to this gang doing this to this young lady? She was naked, and like I said, that's a part of humiliation. To get her on video, she's naked, she's not defending herself. You know, just really sick. The whole thing just sick. Then we can jump back to Kanika Jenkins. Just let her roam around the hotel drunk and out of her mind. Let her be humiliated for the world to see because she's on camera, all around the hotel. But, that's another story because, again, there was security there. And security was supposed to have been watching the cameras. So why security couldn't go and just get the young lady, I have no idea. But anyhow, you seeing your friend in that state and she's roaming, you allow her to roam around. Like I said, these kids are a part of a different type of wickedness. The Bible tells us that the generations are wiser and wickeder. And this is what's happening now today. People think it's a form of entertainment to see someone lose their life. Um, I was by my mom's house, maybe about I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I went over there, and on that particular day that I was there, the kids, they were getting out of school, and there's this bus that comes right in front of her home, and I believe these kids are in junior high school, and I was sitting in my car because I was doing something, but I was just sitting in my car and everything, and the bus pulled up. The kids were kind of amped up or what have you, and I can sense something was going to happen once these kids got off the bus. I could just feel it. And lo and behold, the kids get off the bus, and it was you know, they had this circle going on, and I just said, okay, it's about to be a fight. So two girls, got into a fight, and what did the kids around them do? They picked up their phone and recorded it. So I got out of the car and everything, and I looked and I said, hey, hey, I yelled. I say, hey, kids, break this up, what have you. I'm like, break it up, all this sort of stuff. I'm doing everything that I feel that I can do to stop this. And you have to be careful with these kids nowadays because they have weapons. You don't know who have a knife, a gun, or what have you. You just don't know. So you still have to protect yourself as well as try to, help these kids or what have you. You know, they didn't stop or what have you. They're still going. And I said, hey, hey, stop this, and I'm just yelling. I'm just yelling. And so what I did was I pulled out my phone and, I said, because if they don't stop, I'm going to call the police, because one young lady had the other one on the ground and she was just really, wailing on her or what have you. No one is helping her. So I pulled it out and I was, trying to pretend like I was dialing a number just to get them to stop. And so finally, one of the guys is like, oh, she's calling the police. So, oh, come on, she's calling the police. So in other words, I'm calling the popo. And this kid is like, oh, come on, come on. I'm like out of control. So they walked away or what have you. So, but the one young lady that was beaten pretty badly, she was still on the ground, and so I got a little bit closer, and I said, sweetheart, are you okay? Is it anything you need me to do or what have you? And she's just like, no. And I said, well, what you need to do is when you get home, please tell your parents about this so that your parents can go to the school and talk to your principal or something. I said, because you shouldn't be fighting, you know and see, this is the thing, we have to do all that we can to just try to reach these children in some form or fashion, as the adults. This shouldn't be something that we want to see, but no, help these kids out and everything. So I don't know if she did or not, but I just pray she did. But anyhow, guys, I'm just going to say, even as adults, you still have to watch your surroundings, be careful, and I'm not saying, don't live your life in fear because, the word tells us that God haven't given us the spirit of fear, so we shouldn't live our lives in fear, but, pray about everything. Ask God to reveal to you who's truly your friend or who's a foe, you know. And again, my condolences to the Robinson family. and everything. And thanks be to God that there is victory. I believe they're all going down one by one. And you guys continue to lift up the Robinson family. That this gang is taken off the streets or what have you, and that it will be justice for Shanquilla Robinson. So we need to keep saying her name. Okay. God bless you all. Take care. Until next time. Peace.